All right, and welcome back for another episode of Carnivore Trades. Today's Tuesday, September 10th, 2024. If you haven't already, please give the video a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Come find me on carnivoretrades.com for swing trading alerts, analysis, and live day trading. Anyways, let's get into it today. So markets today, really, I'm just going to call it an inside day. That's really what today is. And kind of a nothing burger, honestly. So we gapped higher, we sold off, and then it was a snooze fest until the afternoon. We had a pretty good dip down to 54.50. That was a level, that was a point of control yesterday, a big Gex wall. I talked about that this morning. And, we pierced it for like 20 minutes, and then we just kind of melted back up and floated higher on pretty light volume by the end of the day. I didn't even check the spiders. I just knew it was light. Yeah, I mean, that's very light. So 36 million shares. Definitely light volume float towards the second half of the day. And it's a nothing burger. So we have CPI tomorrow, and we didn't take out any technical resistance. So this is an inside day, right? Zoom in, you're inside of the Friday candle, right? So there's still nothing really happening here. So one thing I just want to caution about here is when you're in a bear phase, right? We broke support. We closed below support on a weekly, and we're into that time period of September. I've seen this happen countless times where they rally it into the end of the day and it closes right at the highs of the day, but it doesn't take out resistance. Watch out for a gap down. That can happen. I'm not predicting that. I'm just saying I've seen it happen multiple times. So it gets everybody kind of complacent into the end of the day, but we didn't take out the level, right? This is the bull bear line. Did the whole video on that yesterday, 5,500, and you could honestly make a case. I would say I would still feel better about 52.22 or 55.22 rather. Sorry, 55.22. Right. So just to completely negate the red bar, you got to get another 22 points out of this. But a nice little pop into the end of the day. The trading has been pretty decent, level to level anyway, on an intraday basis. So that's been fun here. I like the volatility right now, but again, no negation. Now, if we had closed above that, what I would say is tomorrow, if we dip on CPI, you can buy that more comfortably anyway. But now it's kind of 50-50 here. So again, no changes here, and again, we'll just have to defer to tomorrow. Now, CPI is not really what it used to be, right? Market cares a lot more about jobs data, but it's still an algo mover, and it's still, if it's hot or cold enough in one direction, it will move the market for sure. I would assume the market just wants Goldilocks, right? So, although hot could be interesting, hot could definitely be interesting, especially for bonds, because they are selling the shit out of yields. They're buying notes rather. You look at the 10-year note at the highs, 30s right at the highs, and then the 2-year here also right at the highs. So the market seems convinced that there's 0% chance that inflation's ever coming back again. I'm not necessarily saying it will, but if we get a surprise, the market is not prepared for it, it appears. The dollar seems to be saying the opposite, though. The dollar was green today, and you can see here, dollar yen here down, but that's a little bit of tight correlation, but not perfect. But the dollar was green, and bonds still kind of in that panic bid mode. ECTLT here, closing above 100 for the first time, I think, all year. So we got to go here. I think we closed just shy of it. Yeah, 99.99 yesterday. So I don't know. My concern here is that, and I've been saying this for weeks, but at some point we are going to get a big rally in yields, and I think it's just going to be a result of positioning. And people are going to be scratching their head like, how can this be possible? The economy is slowing down. But we'll see. Again, not in that trade, but I'm looking for a sign that says to get in that trade. But anyway, to get back here to the Qs, and then also before we get too ahead of ourselves, we have the FOMC next week too. So we could stay hypothetically. Right now, 55.22, we could stay in this range until the FOMC. We could stay inside candle. That'd be a long time to be in that range, but we could. So just one more thing to think about there. But Qs, again, good close. They were stronger than the spiders today. 92 basis point gain versus a little under 0.5%. And we did get above that 458 level. I don't know if I talked about it here. I know I talked about it in the trading room a lot, but right there, and we closed above it. But that to me is still not the big level. The big level would be 461.22. So let me just put that in there. And there you go. So that's your inside candle there on the Q. And look at these levels. I mean, they're picture perfect, right? I have not touched these lines since I drew them. But there's your level, ping, hit, slice. We went right down to this one. We bounced, which also happened to be a 618, and we bounced. So very good level action here, if nothing else. So I'll be watching for that tomorrow. Russell 2000 was the weakest link today. It did hold the 100. And let's talk about, while we're at it, since KRE and regional banks are such a large part. So there was like the bank talk earlier from Barr. Like honestly, I just think it's noise. I mean, if you got a KRE here down 48 cents, holding the 50 MA with that type of a candle, it closed inside of Friday's range. KBE, the same exact thing. And then here's the one that really gets it. XLF, like I don't know. It just you can't even close below the 20. If things are that bearish and you can't even close below the, I mean, that bearish, I say, and you can't even close below the 20 MA on the daily. You're all above all the moving averages. Yeah, you know, and there was volume too. That just like signals to me that it's noise. So we have a presidential debate tonight too. That could throw things awry. You know, Trump could bully him. He could say something about like, you know, he doesn't know what he's talking about, and then you know they gap up tomorrow. So I wouldn't make too much out of it. JPM did get hit though, down 5%. On heavy volume, but again, came off the lows, and you didn't really like, you still have higher lows here potentially, right? So you didn't really damage the chart all that much. You know, you can take from here, there's a 618, it held by, well, the 618 held by the close. You can go to here, the 50% fib, right here, 382, look at this. So don't you love how fibs work? So pretty nice stuff there. And you just drag each pivot and it goes to the next fib. Isn't that nice? So that's why fibs are awesome. But either way, I'm not going to make too much out of it, honestly. It's just noise. It felt kind of coordinated, honestly. But and by the way, I noted this in the trading room. I said, guys, look at how JPM's not so much IWM. We'll talk about that in a second. But look how it's basically crashing. But the QQQ was flat the whole time. So they were purposely bidding something else up while JPM was going down. So they weren't letting the market go down. All right, IWM here down 17 cents. It was flat. Again, held the 100 MA and back inside of Friday's range. Not the greatest to see it weak, but not a bad candle, though. We sucked into the lows, and then we came back up. So we'll see what it does. Still got to get back above 210 and change to really improve technical positioning. And then 215's major resistance if it gets up there. But again, it held the 618 today. So see what it does tomorrow. Dow here, fractionally lower. It's fine. SMH here, the decent gain of 1%. This is still a laggard, though. It's still a huge laggard. In fact, NVIDIA was up nicely. Broadcom was up nicely, but that was a nice bounce for Broadcom at 5.25. But like, look at all the others. AMAT up just 50 cents. KLA up $3.57. TSM took a little bit of a hit earlier this morning. Yeah, they finished okay. They were kind of mixed, but earlier this morning, a lot of them were getting hit. But again, we'll leave it at that. It's not like it's the end of the world. It's still holding the 200. I talked about that possibility of a higher low here when everybody was all bearish, and I said you could. Not that I'm saying to buy it, but this could just become a higher low, and then what are you going to do? So, all right, here is the winner of the day here. IGV. I've been pimping this ETF for a while here. I have 1.6, and again, if there's an area in tech I want to be in that I had to be in, it's IGV. Look at that pattern on the weekly, and the monthly. This is just a tight consolidation pattern. It's not participating in the sell-off, at least relatively speaking, right? Look at IGV versus look at this SPX or the Qs, much steeper lower high. And a lot of that was on Oracle. So Oracle up 11%, multiple upgrades here. Adobe up under 1%. That is coming back as well. I like that pattern there. CRM a little bit on the weaker side. Microsoft finally got a nice bit up 2%. That needed a higher low there, big time. So these cloud stocks finally coming back here. Really higher across the board. Looks like Atlassian was down a little bit. What else we got? Cloudflare, ServiceNow. So, but Oracle obviously the big winner, and IGV up nicely today. So this is in much stronger positioning. Transports here got sliced a little bit early, but then down just 26 points. Nothing wrong with it. But I don't like that failure on the daily. So we got to get back above 15.8, and then the breakdown bar 15.9 to kind of negate that. But hey, they're hanging in there. All right, rates, again, we kind of talked about. I'll just breeze through it, but you can see the 2-year here down 7 basis points. This is still getting clobbered. Fives, again, down 6.7. 10s and 30s basically making new, well, I think the 10 made a new 52-week closing low today. And then the 30 is basically right there, 3.955, where are we at right now? 3.954, so right in that area. So right at a 52-week low. I'm just saying, nobody thinks the CPI can come in hot, apparently. Not saying it will, but market seems very sure of itself. And even if it comes in cool, I mean, that could cause covering too. So anyway, 58-cent gain for XHB. Sideways pattern after the breakdown. So you could make a case it's setting up for bear continuation here, but trend is up very nicely. So again, it's very hard to fight home builders in any sort of environment. And weekly, you still have a big bull inside bar above all the moving averages. So just take that into consideration. VNQ, again, there she goes. So that's through 97. I said maybe even up to 100, and it's almost there now. 1.5% gain. And again, we'll just call it even at 100. I think there's a fib up there. Yeah, 90. We'll just say 99 to 100. So the 618 is right there. So we'll leave that on there, and we can get rid of this. We'll leave that one up there. VNQ continues to be a powerhouse. Defenses were still strong. XLV curling back up a little bit. XLU and XLP also holding up today too. We talked about banks already. Broker dealers. Again, there you go. Down 1%, but still holding the 50 MA. Oil is in a lot of trouble here. Big slice, down 3.5. Almost a 52-week closing low. 52-week lows here are at 64. And then there's another level right there at exactly 64, I believe. Oh no, it's way down here. I think this is contract adjusted, that's why. Yeah, so this might need to get updated, but this is contract adjusted. But either way, 64 is a big level. There will probably be a coming trade here in oil on the long side. I just don't know where exactly that's going to be. Yeah, see, this is contract adjusted because the weekly is not back adjusted. You can see 63, 64. It says the low. And then if I go to the daily, it'll show it's at like 60 and change. Yeah, so it's not automatically back adjusted on the weekly because Thinkorswim's incapable of doing that for some reason. But either way, you get the idea. Down in this area, I do think we'll make lower lows though. And I think there will be a huge opportunity on the long side, maybe later this year. But right now, I have not touched it. So oil down 3.5, XLE down 1 1/3. That should have a little bit of support around 84. And then XOP here, 52-week low, 52-week closing low. I'm going to say 123 right now for that. These are just short-term levels. And then OIH 260. There's also a anywhere between 260 and 250 is OIH. So I'm watching that. CCJ managing to carve out a little gain. Watching for a W bottom. It doesn't have to have one. Pattern's a little immature. URNM up 2%. URNJ up 75 cents. Good action there. I like that it got back above that white line. So it needed that bounce. We need to see a strong close to end the week out. And then because I'm going to get probably about 350 messages in my inbox if I don't cover MOS today. Down 2%. And I've been telling you guys for probably about 18 months. I get messages on this stock, like at least once every couple of weeks, if not more. And then the answer has never changed. $25 to $24.50. And I've been saying that since probably May of last year. And there you go. So if you want it, if you're so desperate, you have to try it. You can try it here. So you got the 75% fib retrace. You get this breakout level. So if there's a level to try at, that I like it here. If that fails, then it's going to $20. Am I going to be in it? No, I don't really feel the need to. I don't like it that much. So, but it is crashing down into that level, so you probably do get a bounce here. Intrepid's still holding up, and then drawing a blank on an NTR. Yeah, there we go. Little double bottom there. That might want to go down into like 42. Let me just draw the fib here too. Yeah, in this area, 42, Pierce of 43. So kind of lines up with that breakout. And don't think that I'm going to cover these every day. I'm just doing that now because it hit that level. All right. All right, nat gas here. Impressive recovery. So we gapped down yesterday, and the sellers got hit. So sellers are in a little trouble here. So they try to get control of this, and rallied back nicely. And you still have inside bar right here. So if nat gas can start to push back above 228, I think they get squeezed. And on the hourly here, look what it did. It came back, and it's just flagging. So 20 MA can come back and catch up tomorrow. Interesting. Could get interesting on nat gas. Tis the season for that too. All right. Dollar index flat positive. Got to get above 102, and then it can go to 102.50. We'll see if it can do that. Gold still just the powerhouse here. This is probably going to 26.10. But if it fails and you close below 24.88, then it's in backing and filling mode. It might go to 26.10 on the Fed too, which is next week. Maybe that's what gets it there. Silver just sideways here. Don't love the pattern. You're starting to put an inside bar. I think this is doing backing and filling, and I think there will be a better opportunity later this year for it though. Platinum flat. Palladium, nice recovery up 2 3/4. I like getting above that red bar. You get back above 1,000, it starts getting interesting, right? We get above the 200 with decisiveness. And by the way, look at this. I know I've been talking about this for a while, so people probably don't believe me, but like look at the moving average, look at the 200, right? Look how far away it is, and look at how each sell-off price is like coming back. It's moving less distance away from the 200 moving average on each sell-off, and we're now. Look, see how it's sloped down and it's curving? It's usually how you can tell that something's nearing the end of that cycle. So I think this is all slow accumulation down here. Copper is still inside bar. Be on watch for a breakdown. But if we get above 422.8, it's a failure. So no bias there. Bitcoin, nice move. So above that red bar high. And 58,367 is your next level. After that, 60K. So nice action there for Bitcoin. But again, ultimately still just kind of noisy at the moment. So above 57, we got above that. 58,367 and then 60K. All right. Yeah, again, so we never closed above resistance. Just be aware of that. I know it looks like we did on SPY, but we didn't. You may have noticed that earlier. The low is 548.88, and we missed it by 9 cents. Aaron, it's only 9 cents. It didn't. No, it matters. Trust me. I wouldn't say it if it didn't. And plus, you still got the red bar there. So right now, I'm just neutral and reacting. A lot of people are predicting right now, and I'm in reaction mode. Let the market tell me what to do. And just kind of going level to level. Levels have worked out pretty well. We've got nice, precise action here on an intraday basis, so that's been a lot of fun to trade. But we've got a lot of stuff going on. We got CPI tomorrow, PPI, Michigan on Friday, and then next week FOMC and OPEX too. So a lot of noise, a lot of grind. I would advise here, not being long premium, I would use shares or futures because they are burning a lot of things out here on both sides, and they're just pissing money away being long premium at the moment. I see what the market makers are doing on a daily basis, and they're killing people here. So just a word of advice there, which is not financial. So anyways, you guys take care. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. I will see you guys all in the next video.